Alright, I'm back with, with an update, really. I know I don't normally do the updates. I know I should do it more. But anyway, I have a misfire on bank 2, which is the driver's side on this bank right here. When it comes up, it's giving the camshaft code for bank 2. But I know I was trying to figure out what's wrong with it the other day. When I was under the truck, I noticed that one of the oxygen sensors wires were broke. I don't know which one of the wires it was because I didn't pull up a wire diagram or check it in. But it was definitely broke. But I know at one time I had it on this driver's side for a period of time. I don't know if that had something to do with it. Maybe increasing fuel pressure on this cylinder because it's running rich, which is why it's causing the misfire. So what I'm trying to do now is figure out why is it causing the misfire on this cylinder right here, which is bank 2. And if it's some kind of vacuum leak, which I don't think it is because this motor was perfectly fine running in the car I got it from. It had no issues. So it's kind of like retracing my steps, so to speak. So what I'm probably gonna do today is probably put some clean on the mass airflow sensor because this car actually has 2 throttle bodies. And then it got 2 mass airflow sensors on both sides, and it got 2 of the intake tubes and the actual intake box on both sides as well. So that's what I'm probably gonna do today. But other than that, I have came a long way in the car. I know I've shown other features of the car a lot of times now, and it has a grill. I got the whole front cap on. It has the wheels on now, which is a 32 inches R wheel. I also bought another hood, so it won't be bent in this corner right here. This hood is perfectly fine right here. So, and then I got the satellite track vision on top. I got that bolted up. And it runs, so that's where I'm at. I don't know if y'all remember, I was in the back out working on this exact same car. If you remember back then, and you see it up to now, I've came very far, very far. So it's just about down with it now. I'm thinking about taking it to the paint shop next week and getting it finished up, at least getting it painted. Obviously, I still have somebody working on the interior. That seems like that's the biggest holdup with this is the interior. Yeah. Yeah, I should try to take care of that today and get that situated. But other than that, I'm down to the nitty gritty. And then too, like I said, this truck, I mean, it's came a long way. I bought this truck as a frame because I knew somebody who was selling a wrecked FX 35 that was partially wrecked very bad in the back and on the front cap and all in the corner. So I bought his, and I used most of the parts off of his truck to put this truck together to make a whole unit. I'm talking about from the front to the rear wires, motor, transmission, cats. I mean, you name it, every part on the truck I just about touched. Headliner, sunroof. Because the truck I bought didn't have a sunroof in it. It just had a hole. It didn't even have the screws to work. Well, yes it did, because it had like a lot of screws inside of it. Like I said, you go back to the first video, you'll see how junky it was in the inside. You'll see how far I brought it today. This is like this is what I really want to do. Depending on how much. I'm not gonna say exactly I'm trying to be, so to speak, a YouTuber or nothing like that. I just wanna. It just made me feel good to put the truck out and for it to be seen. That's what I like to do. I've been liking it since I was 18. So it's like something I've always wanted to do. And I went to school and I learned how to work on cars, and I just took that to the next level. because when you're working on cars, like I was saying, somebody called and interrupted the video. But anyway, this is something I've been doing for the longest. And when I went to school to be a mechanic, they was telling me all these fantasy type things. Now, don't get me wrong, you can be successful at being only a mechanic or a technician. It's really, there is a difference, because a technician obviously knows the theory and operation of the vehicle. Mechanics know how to do part swaps. So I mean, it is a difference. But if you are a master technician, yeah, like I was saying, when I was going to school to be a mechanic or a technician, there's nothing wrong with just being a technician or a mechanic, like I was saying. But I think at the end of the day, I mean, it's just everything in life is what you choose to do with it. I've always loved cars, and I've loved cars with rims on them more than anything, which is probably was brought into this basically by the wheels. That's what I first originally liked. Cars with wheels on them, paint. At the time, East Coast Riders was real popular, and they were doing 28s and 26s, and we was, it was a couple of guys on 26s and things, but they was on trucks at that time. It was majority. Florida's always been ahead of us as far as the big wheels go. They were riding 8s and 6s on, everything, and it was just amazing to see how the fiberglass in the doors, the lift kits and stuff like that. So that stuff always amazed me. So I've always wanted to learn a little more about it. But as I got into doing the mechanical thing, I did work at Firestone for 3 years, and I just realized it just wasn't for me. We got paid off what they call flag time. A lot of y'all probably know what that is. Flag time just wasn't, some people love things and some people don't. So it's just something that I didn't like. So, it's just something that I really hated, to be honest with you, because they paid, at the time I was not a lead tech or anything like that. I was just fresh out of school technician, and I was getting oil changes and the lower totem pole, really. So it really was on me to become a better technician or certified mechanic, so to speak, you know what I mean? So meaning I had to do outside jobs in order to survive and to make money, because if I would just lived off flag time in the shop, I wouldn't have been able to make it. Because at times, on a lot of days, it was very slow. Because you're not working at a dealership, you're at a third-party shop, which is working on most of the older cars, so a lot of rust. It just becomes, it could be very much a headache, I put it like that. And I just had a lot of hard days, but I thank God I went through those so it could prepare me to get better and to show me what the future could bring, or how beautiful the future could bring. So I'm glad I went through that. Now, this is not to knock a mechanic, or you just like to do the mechanics of the car. I'm not knocking you. If you're a technician and you like to do diagnostics, I'm not knocking that neither. But I find myself just not fitting in. I know a little bit general about every part of the car, whether it's diagnostics or whether it's replacing body panels. I know a little bit about it. I want to get into more of the cutting and welding of the vehicles and stuff like that. I want to learn how to weld, and so I can cut body parts off and weld, because that's what I'm interested in. And I also want to, like I said, I buy wrecked cars and stuff, and I put them back together. This car just wasn't wrecked; it just was stripped, because I bought it at an auction, and somebody had obviously stripped the car. I don't know who stripped the car, but that's why I bought it, and I put it back together. So of course now it does look like a strip, because I've been working on this for almost 8 months now, I believe, and I'm just now approaching the final stages. But when you approach the final stages, that's when you start to have the most issues that you thought you never would have, but you run into them in the end of the bill, so to speak. But anything that I can go over, matter of fact, I'm finna think now if there's anything I can say. This truck has a modified spindle, modified front struts, modified rear shocks, and rear cups. In order for it to be able to fit the 32s on there, it's also been cut. When it comes to cutting, and I know when I look on YouTube, there's no information really about cutting. I don't know if they want you to keep it a secret, or if they just, I don't really know, but I don't have a problem with sharing. But I didn't do the cutting on this truck myself, but I feel like if I had to do my own, I could, because I watched the guy who did it do it, because he explained to me what he was doing. And like I said, I have mechanical experience, so it's really not. I mean, it is difficult. Like I said, I don't want to take nothing away from nobody what they do. It is very difficult to cut these cars and to fit these rims on there. Plus the rim is heavy. These rims are like 80 and 90 pounds a piece, if not more. You know, just off what I'm just going off the top of my head, but these rims are 80 and 90 pounds a piece or more. So, I mean, it just depends on the way you look at it. So a lot of people not gonna want to do this to their car, which I completely understand that. Everybody don't like big rims. Everybody don't like having rims that stand tall. I mean, I understand. Some people like riding 22s. Some people like riding 24s. Some people like riding 26s. But ever since I've seen East Coast Rides riding those gigantic rims, I have not been able to shake that since. I don't want 26s or 28s. Unless I got something that like I don't even know what I would even ride them on. But I mean, I know a lot of guys get old schools and go 28s and stuff like that, and that's cool. But it's just not for me. I like big rims. I just always have. I know people try to criticize people when they shouldn't. You should do what you like and you should let other people do what they like. But you know it don't work like that. But with that being said, this just what brought me into the game. I kind of wish I would have went for painting cars instead of working on cars, so to speak, because I'm more of a looks person. I do like motors that are fast. Like I like Hellcats. I like SS Camaros. I like LSA blowers. I like when somebody has fixed up a small block and, did cam bearings and did cam swap, valve spring, lifters, rotor rockers, the whole different cranks, cam bearings, the works. I'm all for that. But my favorite thing to do is just to ride clean. I love candy paint. I love custom interior. I love speakers in the cars. I like TVs in cars. I like big rims on cars. I mean, to me, a clean car is something that's been fully touched. A clean car is not a paint job and rims. I mean, it could be nice looking, but the full package is gonna have to be seats, guts, guts, so to speak. Like when I say guts, I mean headliner, seats, carpet, A-pillars, and their own dash. It's a lot of different ways I can put it and say it, And there's a lot of stuff you can do to cars now. I mean, what you do to your car is your decision. Don't let nobody else influence what you want to do to your car. And that's what I've kind of let people do over the years to me. But I'm not gonna continue to. But anyway, that was just me speaking on stuff. Anyway, y'all stay tuned. Probably next video I post will be me getting the car painted. All right, I'm out.